a soft whiteness gathers beyond the glass. Not rain this time, not wind, only snow, drifting through the dark as if the night has slowed itself down just for you. You are warm beneath the covers, listening to the tiny hush of flakes touching the window pane. The room around you is still, shaped by dim shadows and the faint glow of a bedside candle. Outside, the garden has changed while you rested. Familiar paths have disappeared beneath a smooth white blanket. The fence, the pots, the sleeping shrubs, even the old stones near the door have all been softened into gentle shapes. For a while, you simply watch. There is something deeply comforting about snow seen from a warm room. It makes the world feel further away, quieter, kinder. Then, between the dark trees at the far end of the garden, a single pale light appears. It is small, blue-white, no brighter than a snowflake catching moonlight, and somehow it seems to be waiting. You sit up slowly, keeping the blanket around your shoulders for another moment. The candle beside the bed gives a small, steady flame, painting the room in honeyed gold. Beyond it, the window is blue with winter. The little light between the trees does not flicker like a lantern. It does not shine like a lamp. It simply glows, round and delicate, suspended in the falling snow. You might have missed it on any other night. But now the garden is so still, so deeply quiet, that the smallest brightness feels like a secret. You place your feet down and cross the room without hurry. The floor is cool beneath you, but the air is peaceful. At the window, you lean closer, watching the snow gather along the sill outside. Another tiny light appears beside the first, then a third. They drift in a loose line, not quite touching the ground, leading away from the garden and into the trees beyond. They look like snowflakes that have remembered how to glow. Downstairs, the house feels wrapped in sleep. Every room is calm and familiar, yet the snowlight outside gives everything a new edge of wonder. The hallway lies in gentle shadow. The kitchen is still. The back door waits beneath its small square window, where frost has gathered in feathery patterns. Beside the door hangs a thick winter coat. You do not remember placing it there. It is deep forest green, lined with soft wool, with a hood wide enough to keep out the cold. Beneath it are sturdy boots, already waiting on the mat, clean and dry and perfectly placed. There is no need to question it. Some nights offer invitations quietly. You dress slowly, wrapping a scarf around yourself, pulling the coat close, feeling its warmth settle over your shoulders like another blanket. Outside, the little snowlights drift patiently beyond the garden. The first step is not into danger. It is into stillness. The back door opens with a soft sigh. Cold air slips in, clean and bright, carrying the scent of snow and sleeping evergreens. You step outside. The garden accepts your first footprint with a gentle crunch. Then another, then another. Behind you, the warm house glows softly through the windows. But ahead, The snow-covered path leads toward the trees. Each flake falls slowly enough to be seen, turning in the air before landing without a sound. The little lights hover just beyond the garden gate. They do not rush. They bob lightly, as if breathing with the snowfall. You follow them past buried flower beds, past pots capped with snow, past the familiar bench that has become a smooth white shape beneath the night sky. The world has not disappeared. It has simply put on a quieter face. The garden gate stands half open. Snow rests along its top rail, thick and even, like folded cloth. Beyond it, the narrow lane is unfamiliar beneath its winter covering. The little snowlights pass through first. One by one, they drift beyond the gate and pause there, floating just above the white path. Their glow spreads faintly over the snow, tinting it with a color somewhere between moonlight and starlight. You touch the gate with one gloved hand. It moves without a creak. Past the garden, the trees stand tall and dark, their branches heavy with snow. The path between them is narrow, but not difficult. It curves gently into the woods, as though it has always been there, and has only waited for this night to reveal itself. You step through. Behind you, the house remains warm and safe. Ahead, the snow lights begin to move. The trees close around the path without making it feel enclosed. Their branches arch overhead, heavy with snow, forming a soft white tunnel beneath the night. Now and then, a branch releases a powdery fall that lands with a whisper beside you. The snow lights drift just ahead. They weave lazily between tree trunks, leaving no trail except a faint shimmer that fades as you pass. Their movement is slow, almost sleepy, and you find yourself matching their pace without trying. There are no footprints here except your own. No sound but your boots in the snow. No movement but the falling flakes and those little blue-white guides. The further you walk, the softer the world becomes. The usual thoughts of the day begin to loosen. Edges blur. The cold remains outside your coat, while inside it, warmth stays close. The forest seems to know you are tired, so it asks nothing of you except another gentle step. A stream appears beside the path. In warmer seasons, it may have chattered over stones and roots, but now it is mostly sleeping beneath a pane of clear ice. Only a narrow ribbon of water still moves at the center, dark and silver, whispering softly beneath the frozen surface. The snow lights gather above it. Their glow reflects in the ice, multiplying into tiny stars under your feet. A small wooden bridge crosses the stream, its railings furred with snow. It looks old but cared for, with each plank resting firm beneath the white. You step onto it carefully. The wood gives a low, friendly creak. Halfway across, you pause and look down. Beneath the ice, the stream carries moonlight away into the trees, as though even water can dream when winter comes. The snowlights wait on the far side, patient, gentle, certain. Beyond the bridge, the forest changes. The pines grow taller here, their trunks straight and dark, rising far into the snow-filled sky. The branches begin high above you, so the path feels wider, quieter, more open. Moonlight reaches the ground in pale sheets. Snowflakes drift through it slowly, each one bright for a moment, before fading into the white below. The little lights spread out, no longer in a single line. Some float near the path, others rise between the trees. A few turn slowly above you, like tiny winter constellations. You realize the forest is not guiding you by force. It is making the way beautiful enough that you want to continue. Your breathing settles, your shoulders lower. Every step becomes easier than the last. Somewhere far ahead, through the veil of falling snow, a warmer glow appears. Not close yet, but real. At the side of the path, something hangs from a low branch. It looks at first like a lantern, but there is no flame inside it, only a glassy globe filled with softly turning snow. The tiny flakes within the globe swirl without wind, lit from nowhere, glowing with the same blue-white shimmer as the guides ahead. You stop beside it. The globe hangs from a dark iron hook, perfectly still, while the snow inside moves in slow circles. It gives no heat, but it gives comfort all the same. For a moment, the little snow lights gather around it, as though greeting an old friend. Then the globe brightens slightly. The path ahead answers with a chain of faint lights, each one appearing further into the woods. Not lanterns, not candles. Just winter showing you where to place your trust. The path begins to slope downward. The forest opens into a shallow hollow between two snow-covered hills. Here, the wind cannot reach. The air is completely still. The snow falls straight down. At the center of the hollow stands an old stone well, round and low, its roof capped with white. No bucket hangs from it. No rope moves. It is simply there, quiet and ancient, as if it has watched many winters pass without needing to speak. The little snowlights circle the well once. Their glow touches the stones, revealing a fine lace of frost along every edge. You rest one hand on the cold stone rim and look up. The sky above the hollow is wide and dark, filled with falling snow and a few shy stars. For the first time, the forest feels less like a place you have entered and more like a place that has opened for you. On the far side of the hollow, you notice two smooth lines in the snow. They curve away between the trees, shallow and even, like the tracks of a small sled. No footprints accompany them, no sound follows them, yet they look freshly made, the edges clean beneath the falling snow. The little lights drift above the tracks and continue onward. You follow. The path is easier here, gently packed beneath the snow. It winds between frosted shrubs and low branches, past places where red berries peek out from white clusters, bright as tiny sealed wishes. Every so often, the sled track catches moonlight. It gleams for a second, then dims again. You imagine something kind and quiet moving through these woods long before you arrived, preparing the way without needing thanks. The thought warms you. So does the unseen destination ahead. The trees begin to lean toward one another. Their branches meet above the path, forming an arch of snow and pine needles. It is not built by hands, yet it feels shaped with care. The little lights pass beneath it. You slow as you approach. Snow hangs from the arch in soft layers, and icicles dangle between the needles like clear glass chimes. They do not ring, they simply catch the moonlight and hold it. Beyond the arch, the forest looks deeper, bluer, older. You step beneath the branches, and for a moment the snowfall thins. The air under the arch feels warmer, as if the forest is holding its breath while you pass. When you emerge on the other side, the snow begins again, gentle, steady, endless, and the glow ahead has grown stronger. At first, you think you see an animal resting beside the path. You pause, but it is only a fallen log beneath a smooth covering of snow, shaped so gently that it resembles a sleeping deer. A curved branch rises like an antler. A drift of white forms its folded back. The sight makes you smile. Winter has a way of turning ordinary things into quiet stories. The snowlights hover nearby, dimming slightly, as though they too are careful not to disturb the sleeping shape. You pass softly. The forest floor is uneven here, but the snow has made it kind. Roots become pillows, stones become rounded humps, fallen branches become resting creatures in the blue dark. Nothing startles, nothing hurries. The woods seem full of dreams that have not yet woken. The golden glow ahead appears again. This time, it is clearer. It slips between tree trunks in narrow bands, touching the snow with a warmth that does not belong to moonlight. Somewhere beyond the forest, there must be windows. Perhaps many windows. Perhaps a place where fires are lit and roofs are heavy with snow. The little lights move toward it. Your path rises now, climbing a gentle slope. The snow is deeper at the sides, piled around tree roots and half-buried stones. Each step makes a soft sound, steady and untroubled. As you climb, the scent of wood smoke reaches you, faint at first, then warmer. It mingles with pine and cold air, creating the kind of smell that makes you think of wool blankets, old floors, and rooms where lamps have been left glowing for travelers. You are not lost. You are being welcomed from a distance. A small bell hangs from a wooden post beside the path. It is almost buried in snow, its dark metal rim just visible beneath a white cap. A thin cord hangs beside it, braided and frosted. The little snow lights gather around the bell. One settles near the cord. Another floats inside the bell's open mouth. You do not touch it. Yet the bell gives one soft note, not loud, not sharp, only a low, rounded sound that rolls gently through the trees and fades into the falling snow. The forest seems to listen. Far ahead, the warm glow brightens in answer. The path beyond the bell is wider than before, marked on both sides by low wooden posts, each one topped with snow. A road, perhaps, or the beginning of one. The narrow path becomes an old winter road. It is barely more than a broad sweep of packed snow between the pines, but the shape of it feels certain. It has carried many quiet journeys. Sleds, perhaps, carts, footsteps, visitors arriving late beneath heavy skies. Wooden posts line the edges, their tops rounded with snow. The little lights float between them, leading you onward in a slow procession. Their glow catches in the frost on each post, so the road seems to wake one marker at a time as you pass. The trees begin to thin. The sky widens. Above you, the clouds part just enough to reveal a pale moon behind drifting snow. And then, far ahead, you see something large and dark against the whiteness. A wall, a gate, a promise of shelter. The road carries you closer. What looked like a wall becomes a high timber fence made from enormous dark logs, each one silvered with frost. Snow rests along the top in a thick, even ridge. It does not feel defensive. It feels protective. Like the outer edge of a place built to keep warmth safe through long winters. The little lights rise higher as you approach, drifting up the face of the timber wall. Their blue-white glow reveals carved patterns in the wood, pine branches, curling snowflakes, sleeping animals, distant mountains, and winding paths. No words, only images. The carvings seem old, smoothed by weather and time, yet still beautiful. At the center of the wall stands a pair of tall wooden gates, closed, silent, waiting. You stand before the gates. They are taller than any garden gate, taller even than the trees nearest the road. Heavy iron hinges hold them in place, black against the frost-pale wood. The carvings continue across both doors. A forest at the bottom, a village above it, a great lodge at the center, and over the lodge, not a sun, not a moon, but a soft, sweeping shape like the northern lights moving across the sky. The little snow lights settle into the carved grooves. For a breath, the whole design glows faintly, revealing the story of the place beyond before you have even entered it. Then the gates make a deep wooden sound. Slowly, without anyone touching them, they begin to open inward. Warm light spills through the widening gap. The scent of wood smoke returns, richer now, closer. Through the open gates, you see rooftops, steep roofs heavy with snow, tall chimneys breathing gentle smoke into the night, windows glowing amber across a small, hidden village nestled among the pines. The road continues inward, smoother now, bordered by snowbanks and low lamps covered in frost. The lamps are not bright. They glow as if they have been waiting all evening and are in no hurry to prove themselves. The little snow lights drift through the gate ahead of you. Some rise toward the rooftops. Some skim over the road. A few circle back, as though making sure you have seen what waits beyond. The village is quiet, not empty, quiet. The kind of quiet that belongs to warm rooms, sleeping houses, and fires that have settled into embers. You step through the gates. The gates remain open behind you. Ahead, the hidden village rests beneath the snowfall. Every roof carries a soft white weight. Every window holds a warm square of light. Smoke curls slowly upward, fading into the blue night. Somewhere, very far off, a fire gives a quiet crackle behind glass. The little snowlights gather at the center of the road. They no longer form a line. Instead, they drift in a loose circle, turning gently above the snow, as if celebrating your arrival. Beyond them, the village lane curves between timber buildings, over a small bridge, and toward a larger glow deeper inside. You cannot yet see the lodge, but you feel it there. A place of warmth beyond warmth, a place waiting at the edge of sleep. You take one slow step forward, and the village opens around you like a dream remembering its shape. You leave the broad entrance road behind and follow a narrower lane that winds between timber cottages. Snow rests in thick layers upon every roof, softening each edge into gentle curves. Warm light glows behind frosted windows, spilling golden reflections onto the untouched snow below. No voices drift through the village. No footsteps disturb its quiet. Only the distant crackle of unseen fireplaces and the whisper of falling snow keep you company. The little snow lights continue ahead, no longer guiding you with urgency, but drifting lazily from one corner to another, as though inviting you simply to explore. Every doorway feels welcoming. Every window suggests another cozy room beyond. For the first time since leaving home, you realize there is nowhere you need to hurry. The village seems perfectly content to let you wander. A sweet, comforting scent drifts gently through the cold air. Fresh bread. It leads you toward a small stone bakery, tucked beneath a steep, snow-covered roof. Its windows glow warmly against the blue night. Inside, rows of freshly baked loaves cool upon wooden shelves. Golden pastries rest beneath linen cloths, while small pies wait neatly upon rustic counters. No baker can be seen, yet everything feels freshly prepared, as though someone stepped away only moments ago. The fire inside the brick oven still glows softly. Its warmth fogs the lower corners of the windows. You pause outside, smiling to yourself. Even without stepping inside, the village somehow shares its warmth. You step a little closer. The bakery window has gathered a delicate layer of frost around its edges, leaving only the center perfectly clear. Behind the glass sits a round loaf upon a wooden board, its crust still gently steaming. Beside it rests a small clay pot of butter and a folded linen towel. Nothing has been arranged to impress anyone. Everything simply belongs. The smell of warm bread mingles with pine, chimney smoke, and the crisp winter air until the whole street feels wrapped in quiet comfort. One of the little snowlights settles upon the window ledge. Its cool blue glow dances gently beside the warm light inside. Together, they color the snow in soft shades of gold and silver. A few doors further along the lane, another welcoming glow catches your eye. This time, it comes from a tiny tea house tucked beneath snow-covered beams. Round windows shimmer with candlelight. Inside, polished wooden tables have already been prepared. Delicate teacups rest upon embroidered cloths. A black iron kettle hangs above glowing embers, quietly warming without boiling. Comfortable armchairs wait beside the fireplace, beneath shelves filled with little ceramic teapots collected over many winters. You imagine snow falling just as gently beyond these windows every evening. Some places seem designed not merely for visiting, but for lingering. The little snowlights circle once above the doorway before floating onward. The lane curves gently until another bridge appears. Unlike the forest bridge, this one rests at the heart of the village. Its wooden railings are smooth from many winters, their tops wrapped in soft blankets of snow. Below, a narrow stream slips quietly between rounded stones that wear white caps of frost. The water moves slowly enough to mirror every cottage window above. Gold and blue mingle together across its gentle surface. Halfway across the bridge, you pause. The village seems even quieter from here. The chimneys breathe softly. Snowflakes drift lazily through the moonlight. The little snowlights gather above the stream, their reflections becoming tiny stars carried gently downstream. It feels less like a village now, and more like a peaceful memory you somehow forgot until tonight. Beyond the bridge, a small square opens before you. At its center stands an old stone fountain, its basin filled with clear ice that catches the moonlight like polished crystal. Delicate frost climbs every carved edge, while a few evergreen branches, dusted with fresh snow, rest around its base as though lovingly arranged. The water has long since fallen silent, yet the fountain still feels alive. Tiny snowlights drift slowly above the frozen surface. Their reflections shimmer beneath the ice, creating the illusion of stars sleeping below the stone. You reach out, resting your gloved hand lightly upon the smooth rim. The cold is gentle, the stillness even gentler. For a moment, it seems as though winter itself is quietly keeping watch over this peaceful little square. A narrow passage leads you into a hidden courtyard, sheltered from the wind by warm timber walls. Small, evergreen trees stand in heavy wooden planters, each one carrying a delicate blanket of snow. Simple wooden benches rest beneath the branches, waiting beside softly glowing lanterns. The air here feels warmer, not because the snow has stopped, but because the buildings seem to hold the cold at a respectful distance. You breathe deeply. The scent of pine, cedar, and distant wood smoke lingers in the still air. The little snowlights drift lazily between the trees, weaving around the branches before disappearing through another quiet archway. You smile. Every turn through this village reveals another peaceful corner. Beyond the courtyard, a familiar comfort waits. A tiny bookshop nestles between two cottages, its warm windows glowing softly against the snowy street. Inside, tall wooden shelves stretch from floor to ceiling, filled with well-loved books whose worn bindings promise countless quiet evenings. A ladder leans against one shelf. A deep armchair sits beside a stone fireplace where a gentle fire glows. An open book rests on a small table with a knitted blanket folded neatly beside it. No one is there, yet the room feels wonderfully alive. It welcomes you without a single word. For a while, you simply stand outside the window, letting its warmth become part of the evening. The next building surprises you. Behind its tall windows stands an elegant upright piano, crafted from dark, polished wood. Its lid is closed. A single candle burns nearby. Rows of comfortable chairs face the instrument as though a quiet gathering has only just ended. The room is silent, yet somehow you can almost imagine gentle music lingering in the warm wooden beams above. Snow settles softly upon the windows outside, while moonlight paints pale silver patterns across the floorboards. The little snow lights drift slowly through the glass, circling above the piano before floating back into the snowy night. Some melodies, perhaps, belong only to dreams. As you leave the music room behind, the village lane grows quieter once again. Ahead, a gently rising path appears, bordered by small blue lanterns nestled in the snow. Beyond them, through the branches of tall evergreens, the great Snowfall Lodge waits upon the hillside. Its windows glow warmly beneath the star-filled sky. Closer now, yet still inviting you to take your time. The little snow lights gather along the path before drifting toward the lodge one by one. You follow them slowly. There is no rush. Every step carries the promise of greater warmth ahead. Behind you, the peaceful village continues its gentle evening. Ahead, the grand lodge welcomes you home. The path climbs gently away from the little blue lanterns and passes beneath a covered wooden walkway. Snow lies thick upon the roof above, while long icicles hang from the edges like clear sleeping glass. The wooden beams are old and dark, polished smooth by many winters, and warm lantern light glows from small alcoves along the wall. The village is quieter up here. The cottages sit closer together, their upper windows bright with firelight, their lower steps softened beneath fresh snow. As you walk, the covered roof shelters you from the falling flakes for a little while. The sound changes beneath it. Your footsteps become softer. The snowfall becomes distant. The world narrows into warm wood, blue night, and the steady glow of the path ahead. A few snow lights drift beside you, moving slowly beneath the beams. Their blue glow touches the snow gathered along the railings, making it shine like frost beneath starlight. At the far end of the walkway, the village opens again, and beyond the rooftops, the lodge waits a little higher on the hill. At the end of the walkway, you pass a small cottage with a broad, glowing window. Inside, the room is filled with folded blankets, knitted scarves, thick woolen socks, and soft cushions stacked neatly upon wooden shelves. Everything is arranged with quiet care, as if the whole cottage exists simply to keep winter travelers warm. There are no labels, no prices, nothing for sale. Only comfort waiting behind glass. A rocking chair sits beside a little stove, draped with a cream-colored blanket. A basket of yarn rests on the floor nearby, its threads spilling gently over the rim. You pause outside, watching the firelight move across all that softness. It reminds you that warmth can take many forms. A flame, a blanket, a room prepared before anyone arrives. The snow lights hover near the window, and their blue glow turns the frost on the glass into delicate patterns. Then they drift onward, leading you deeper into the village. A narrow gap between two cottages leads into another courtyard. This one is smaller than the last, almost hidden from the main lane. Snow falls softly into the open center, where several small bronze bells hang from wooden beams beneath a sheltered roof. They are not church bells, not grand or loud. They are hand-sized, simple and beautifully worn, each one holding a little cap of snow along its rim. A faint breeze moves through the courtyard. Only one bell answers. Its sound is so soft you almost think you imagined it. A low, sleepy note that fades before it can disturb the night. The little snow lights gather around the bells, drifting through the spaces between them. For a moment, each bell gives the faintest shimmer, not ringing again, only glowing gently in the cold air. Then everything returns to stillness. A courtyard made for listening, a quiet pause held inside the village. Beyond the bell courtyard, a glass building appears beside the lane. It is not large, just a small winter greenhouse leaning against a stone wall, its glass panes covered with frost and snow. Warm light glows from within, softened by the white patterns on the glass. Through a clear patch near the door, you glimpse evergreen plants, sleeping herbs, tiny potted trees, and pale winter flowers blooming quietly despite the cold outside. The air near the greenhouse smells faintly of earth and pine. It is a surprising scent in the middle of snow, deep, alive, comforting. The snow lights drift along the roofline and gather near the frosted panes. Their glow catches in the ice crystals, spreading across the glass in branching patterns like frozen leaves. You do not enter. You only stand there a while, letting the sight remind you that even in deepest winter, something green can still be kept safe. The lane widens again into a little market court. Wooden stalls stand beneath snow-covered awnings, all closed for the night but not abandoned. Their counters are neatly arranged with baskets of pine cones, bundles of dried herbs, folded cloth, carved wooden bowls, and jars filled with softly glowing winter berries. No writing marks them. No hands tend them. Yet everything feels lovingly placed, as if the village trusts the night to look after its treasures. A string of tiny warm lights hangs between the stalls, drooping beneath a dusting of snow. The lights do not sparkle brightly. They simply glow, small and steady, like embers resting in the cold. The snow lights pass between the stalls, turning slowly around the baskets and jars. Blue and gold mingle over the snow. You walk through the sleeping market without taking anything. It gives enough simply by being there. Past the market court, a smaller path leads behind the cottages. Here, away from the lane, a round pond lies frozen beneath the open sky. Snow has gathered around its edges, but the center remains smooth and dark, reflecting the moon, the stars, and the warm windows of the houses nearby. The snow lights drift across the ice. Their reflections move beneath them, creating the strange and beautiful feeling that there is another sky below your feet. A small wooden bench waits beside the pond, wrapped in snow. Beside it, an old lantern glows warmly, its flame protected from the cold by thick glass. You sit only in your imagination. The real you remains standing quietly at the edge, watching the lights glide over the frozen surface. There is nothing to solve here, nothing to understand. Only a still pond, a quiet village, and snow falling softly between earth and sky. The path leaves the pond and rises between two close cottages. A narrow outdoor stairway climbs upward, its wooden steps carefully cleared in the center, but still piled with snow along the edges. The railing is wrapped with evergreen garland, frosted white and dotted with tiny blue lights that seem to echo the snow lights themselves. You climb slowly. The village drops behind you, one step at a time. Roofs gather below. Chimneys breathe soft ribbons of smoke into the night. Warm windows glow like small squares of safety beneath the moon. Halfway up, you pause and look back. From here, the village feels even more hidden than before. Tucked into the forest, wrapped in snow, protected from the world beyond the trees. Ahead, the stairway continues toward the lodge road. The snow lights wait patiently near the top. At the top of the stairway, the village spreads below you. The lane you followed curves through the cottages like a pale ribbon. The bakery glows softly near the bridge. The tea house windows shine round and golden. The frozen pond catches the moon in its dark, glassy center. Everything you have passed remains there, quiet and warm, as though each place is holding its own little piece of the night. The snow continues to fall. From this height, it looks almost weightless. The little snow lights rise beside you and hover at the edge of the overlook. For a moment, they seem to mirror the village lights below. Blue stars above gold windows, each one steady and calm. You breathe slowly. The journey has become softer than a journey, more like being carried from one pocket of warmth to the next. Behind you, the path turns toward the lodge grounds. The overlook path curves between tall evergreens and reaches a small gatehouse at the edge of the lodge grounds. It is built from dark timber and pale stone, with a steep roof buried beneath snow. Its windows glow softly, though no figure moves inside. Beyond the gatehouse, The road becomes wider and smoother, leading toward the great lodge across a quiet slope of snow. The gate itself stands open, not grand like the timber gates at the village entrance. This one is lower, warmer, more welcoming. Its posts are carved with simple patterns of pine branches and falling snow, but no words. The snow lights drift through first. One settles on each gatepost, glowing like a tiny blue star. You pass between them and feel the village settle behind you. Ahead, the Snowfall Lodge rises fully into view. Close now, warm now, waiting. The final stretch of path leads to the foot of the Snowfall Lodge. Now it fills the sky before you. A great timber and stone building rising warmly from the hillside, its many windows glowing like embers beneath the snow-heavy roof. Tall evergreens frame it on both sides, their branches bowed gently under winter's weight. The entrance waits at the top of broad stone steps. Lanterns glow along the railings. Snow lies untouched on either side of the path, but the steps themselves are clear, as if prepared for your arrival. The little snow lights gather at the bottom. For a moment they circle quietly, blue against gold, winter against warmth. Then, one by one, they drift upward toward the doors. You follow. Each step brings you closer to the hush inside, closer to firelight, closer to shelter. The village remains behind you, breathing softly beneath the falling snow. And ahead, the great doors of the lodge wait to open. You reach the foot of the Snowfall Lodge at last. The path rises gently through soft drifts of snow, each step muffled beneath the quiet winter night. Above you, the lodge seems even larger now, built from dark timber and pale stone, its steep roof heavy with snow. Warm amber light glows from many windows, making the whole building feel like a hearth set into the side of the mountain. The snow lights drift ahead of you, gathering near the wide front steps. They hover there patiently, as if the lodge has been waiting for you. You climb the steps slowly and reach the covered porch. The roof above shelters you from the falling snow, and the air feels suddenly still. Frost curls along the wooden railings, while soft lantern glow spills across the floorboards. Beside the door, stacked logs rest neatly beneath the eaves, dusted with fine powder. The village behind you is quiet now, its warm windows softened by drifting snow. Ahead, the heavy lodge door stands slightly open. A ribbon of golden light lies across the porch, inviting you inside. You move closer to the open door. From inside comes the soft crackle of a fire, low and steady, like a quiet welcome. The scent of pine wood and warm air seems to meet you at the threshold. Snowflakes melt gently on the old stone beneath the doorway, leaving tiny dark marks that shine in the amber light. The snow lights slip through first. One by one, they vanish into the warmth beyond, and you follow them. Inside, the great hall opens around you. It is vast, warm, and peaceful, with high timber beams stretching into shadow above. A great stone fireplace burns at the far end, its flames moving slowly behind a wide hearth. Thick rugs soften the wooden floor, and deep chairs rest near the fire as though waiting for sleepy guests. Snow taps gently against tall windows. The lodge holds the sound softly, turning even the storm outside into something calm. You wander toward the hearth. The fire gives off a deep, gentle warmth that settles through the room. Beside it, two large chairs face the flames, their cushions soft and worn in the way only old, beloved furniture can be. A folded blanket rests over one arm, thick and woolen, the color of cream in firelight. The snow lights circle above the hearth. For a moment, they glow brighter, like sparks that never burn. Above the fire, the mantel is lined with quiet winter treasures: pine cones, silver leaves, smooth stones, and little glass jars of frost-pale light rest together in careful stillness. Nothing is labeled. Nothing needs to be explained. Each small object feels as though it has been gathered from a peaceful walk through snow and moonlight. The fire below murmurs softly. The room seems to breathe with it. A wide window seat waits along the wall. You move toward it slowly, drawn by the sight beyond the glass. Outside, snow falls over the hidden village in soft layers, blurring rooftops, chimneys, and narrow lanes into one gentle dream. The cushions on the window seat are deep and warm, with another folded blanket tucked into the corner. Here, the whole world feels hushed, as if the snow is tucking everything in. Near the window, a low table has been set for warmth and rest. A steaming pot sits beside a small cup, with a little dish of honey and pale biscuits shaped by hand. The steam rises slowly, curling into the air before fading into the golden light. The scent is sweet and herbal, soft enough to belong to dreams. The snow lights gather above the cup. Their glow turns the steam faintly blue. Beyond the great hall, a quiet passage curves away. You follow it at an easy pace, leaving the firelight behind, but not the warmth. Along the walls, lanterns of frosted glass glow softly, each one shaped a little differently, as if made by careful hands on a snowy afternoon. The passage does not feel empty. It feels protected. Every board beneath you seems to remember footsteps that were gentle and unhurried. The passage leads to an open room lined with books. You pause at the doorway. Inside, the lodge library is smaller than the great hall, but somehow deeper. Shelves climb the walls in dark wood, filled with old books whose spines are softened by shadow and firelight. There are no titles you can read, only colors and textures, browns and golds and winter blues. A small fire burns in the corner. The snow lights drift inside, slow and certain. You step into the library. The air is warm and still, carrying the faint scent of paper, cedar wood, and smoke. A ladder rests against one shelf, and a soft rug spreads across the floor like a little island of comfort. Outside the library windows, snow presses gently against the glass, making the room feel hidden from the rest of the world. Here, even the silence feels full, not heavy, only kind. In the far corner, a reading nook waits beneath a sloping beam. There is a soft chair, a footstool, and a little table with a covered mug resting beside a candle. The candle flame bends slightly, though there is no breeze. Perhaps it is only listening to the snow. The snow lights settle around the nook. Their glow makes the shadows seem softer, and the chair looks impossibly inviting. On the little table lies an open book. Its pages are pale and blank, but not empty. A faint shimmer moves across them like moonlight over fresh snow. Tiny patterns appear and fade before they can become words, soft as frost forming on a window. You do not try to read it. You simply watch. The pages turn once by themselves, slowly and quietly. The snow lights drift away from the book and lead you between the shelves. At the back of the library, a second hearth glows in a little alcove, smaller and quieter than the great hall fire. Cushions are scattered on the rug nearby, and a basket of folded blankets rests beneath a low wooden bench. The flames move lazily. The room feels as though it could hold you there for hours. Safe from wind, safe from cold, safe from needing anything at all. You leave the library through another doorway. This corridor is quieter still, with windows on one side and carved wooden arches on the other. Snowflakes slide down the glass in slow, shining trails. The snow lights float ahead in a loose line, guiding you onward without hurry. The lodge feels larger than it looked from outside. Rooms seem to unfold gently from one another, each space warmer than the last, each silence softer. The corridor opens into a narrow gallery. Along a long wooden table sit glass globes, filled with tiny winter scenes. None of them show people, only miniature forests, moonlit bridges, frozen ponds, and little lodges with warm windows glowing inside. Snow moves slowly within each globe, though nothing touches them. The snow lights hover above the table. For a moment, it feels as though every globe holds a peaceful dream of its own. At the far end of the gallery, the floor opens beside an indoor balcony. You step to the railing and look down over the great hall below. The fireplace glows far beneath you, and the tops of the tall windows shine with reflected snow. From here, the lodge feels like a warm world inside the winter night. The snow lights drift over the open space. They fall slowly, then rise again, as weightless as flakes in a dream. A staircase curves upward beside the balcony. Its banister is smooth from age, polished by time and care. Small lights glow along the wall, each one soft enough not to disturb the sleepiness settling over the lodge. The snow lights gather at the first few steps, then drift upward. You follow. The sounds of the great hall fade behind you. Only the hush of snow remains. At the top of the stairs, you reach a quiet upper landing. The ceiling is lower here, the shadows softer. A row of doors lines the hallway, each one made of dark wood with a gentle glow beneath it. At the far end, a tall window frames the snowy mountain slope beyond the lodge. The snow lights do not choose a door yet. They drift toward the window first, as though there is still one more winter view to show you. You stand before the upper window and look out. Below, the hidden village rests beneath the snowfall, its roofs rounded with white, its windows glowing like embers in the blue night. Beyond it, the forest stretches quiet and silver, and far above, the mountain disappears into cloud and moonlight. The lodge is warm behind you. The snow is endless before you, and somewhere nearby, a room is waiting. A room made for rest, a room made for dreams. The snow lights drift away from the window at last. They move slowly along the upper landing, passing one quiet door after another until they gather before the first room on the left. A narrow ribbon of amber light glows beneath it, warm against the dark wooden floor. The handle turns gently on its own. The door opens without a sound. Beyond it waits a room filled with the hush of falling snow. You step inside. The guest room is small and peaceful, with a sloping timber ceiling and a wide bed resting beneath the window. Pale blankets lie folded across it, soft as fresh snow. Tiny lights drift slowly through the air, descending from the rafters like flakes that never melt. They settle on the blankets for a moment, then rise again. The whole room seems to glow from within. You move closer to the window. Frost has gathered around the glass in delicate branches, curling inward from the edges. Through the clear center, you can see the mountain slope beyond the lodge, silver beneath the moon. Snow passes the window in slow, silent waves. A small bench sits beneath the glass. Its cushion is deep and warm. For a moment, the room feels like a hidden pocket inside the winter night. Across the bed lies a quilt stitched with pale winter flowers. The patterns are soft and flowing, without words or symbols, only petals, leaves, and little curling stems. As the snow lights drift above it, the flowers seem to shimmer faintly, as though the fabric remembers a garden beneath the snow. You rest your gaze. The room grows quieter. Even the wind outside seems to soften. The snow lights guide you back into the hallway and toward another open door. This room is darker, lit mostly by moonlight. Its tall window looks directly into a forest of snow-covered pines, their branches still beneath the night sky. A low bed rests beside the glass, covered in deep blue blankets. The trees outside stand so close that the room feels hidden among them, safe beneath their quiet branches. Moonlight passes through the branches outside and casts long pine shadows across the wall. They move gently as the snow falls, swaying without wind. The patterns stretch over the bed, the floor, and the wooden ceiling above, turning the whole room into a quiet forest of light and shadow. The snowlights hover among them. For a while, it is hard to tell where the real snow ends and the dream begins. At the far side of the room, a curtain hangs between two beams. Behind it is a small, sleeping alcove, tucked beneath the roof. A narrow bed rests there beneath layers of soft blankets, with a tiny shelf holding a candle and a smooth white stone. The space feels sheltered and secret, like a little room inside a room, a place the snow could never reach. The alcove holds a deeper warmth than the rest of the room. The wooden walls are close, and the ceiling slopes gently above the bed. Outside, the storm brushes the roof in soft whispers. Inside, the blankets rise in thick folds, holding the last glow of the candle. The snowlights settle along the shelf. Their pale glow turns softer here, sleepier. You return to the landing once more. The corridor stretches farther than before, lined with quiet doors beneath warm wall lanterns. Soft rugs run along the floor, and the snowlights float ahead in a slow curve. Some doors glow faintly beneath their frames. Others remain dark. Each one feels like it holds a different kind of dream. But the snowlights choose only one. A door at the very end. The last door opens into a round room beneath a high timber roof. Windows curve around the walls, showing different parts of the snowy world outside. One faces the village, one faces the forest, one looks toward the mountain. In the center of the room stands a circular bed covered in pale blankets. The snowlights drift around it in a slow ring, as though the room itself is turning gently through the night. You look upward. The ceiling is painted the color of midnight, scattered with tiny points of light. They are not arranged into signs or patterns. They simply glow like distant stars, calm and endless above the timber beams. The snowlights rise to meet them. For a moment, the ceiling seems to open into the night sky. The room becomes both shelter and starlight. As you move around the room, each window offers a different quiet world. The village rests below one pane. The forest waits beyond another. The mountain rises pale and distant through the third. Nothing outside moves quickly. Snow falls everywhere at the same slow pace. It feels as though the whole lodge has been placed at the center of winter, where every path leads only toward rest. Near the foot of the bed stands an old wooden chest. Its lid opens slowly as you approach. Inside are blankets folded in soft layers: cream, silver blue, deep winter green, and the pale grey of clouds before snow. Each one looks heavier and warmer than the last. A faint scent of cedar rises from the wood. The snow lights settle inside the chest like tiny stars among the fabric. One curved wall holds a narrow glass door. Beyond it lies a small private balcony, dusted with untouched snow. The snow lights pass through the glass and wait outside. You open the door and cool air enters the room, fresh and clean. The warmth remains behind you. The night opens ahead, and the balcony seems to float above the hidden village. You step onto the balcony. The village lies far below, quiet beneath its rounded roofs. Chimney smoke rises in thin, pale ribbons before disappearing into the snowfall. Lanterns glow along the lanes, and the river reflects a few trembling points of amber light. The lodge stands above it all, still, warm, watching over every sleeping window. Along the edge of the balcony, small winter plants grow in wooden boxes. Their leaves are silver green, and tiny white blossoms remain open despite the cold. The snow lights hover among them, making each flower glow like a star resting in snow. No wind disturbs the petals, no frost harms them. They bloom here quietly, high above the village, where dreams and winter meet. You turn back toward the room. Through the glass door, the circular bed glows softly beneath the midnight ceiling. The blankets look warmer now after the cold air outside. The lanterns burn low. The snow lights begin drifting back inside, one by one. The room is waiting patiently, but the night has one more place to show you. A narrow stairway rises from the far side of the balcony. You follow the narrow stairs upward. They curve around the outside of the lodge, protected by a wooden railing and the shelter of the roof. Snow has gathered lightly on each step, but the snow lights clear a glowing path ahead. Above you, the clouds begin to thin. A little more moonlight reaches the mountain. A little more sky opens over the lodge. At the top, you discover a small glass room built into the roof. Its panes are rimmed with frost, but inside, the air is warm. Cushioned benches circle the walls beneath the glass, and a low brazier glows in the center. Above, snow lands softly on the roof and melts into silver trails. The snow lights drift beneath the glass ceiling. The room feels suspended between the lodge and the sky. You sit quietly beneath the glass roof. Snow drifts above you in soft white layers, close enough to watch, but unable to reach the warmth below. Through the clear panes, the mountain rises into moonlight, and the village glows far beneath the lodge. The snow lights gather overhead. They form a slow, gentle circle against the glass. And as you watch them move, the whole night seems to grow quieter, not ending, only becoming deeper. The snow lights begin to loosen their circle above you. One by one, they drift away from the glass roof and gather near the conservatory door. Their glow is softer now, no longer bright with discovery, but calm and low, like lanterns at the end of a long journey. You rise from the cushioned bench. The brazier continues to burn behind you. Beyond the door, the narrow staircase waits beneath the moon. You follow the snow lights down the narrow exterior steps. The snow has settled lightly since you climbed, softening every edge of the staircase. The village glows far below, blurred now by the falling flakes. Above, the moon slips behind a thin layer of cloud. Each step carries you back toward warmth, back toward the room that has been waiting. The balcony door stands open when you return. Warm air reaches you before you cross the threshold. Inside, the circular bed rests beneath the midnight ceiling, its blankets gathered in soft folds. The star-like lights above have dimmed to a gentle glow. The snow lights drift inside first. The door closes quietly behind you, and the cold remains outside. Across the room, between two long curtains, you notice a narrow doorway you had not seen before. It is set into the curved wall, almost hidden in the timber. No light shines beneath it, but the snow lights gather there without hesitation. The handle turns. Beyond is a quiet passage, sloping gently downward, not back toward the village, deeper into the lodge. You enter the passage. The ceiling is low and rounded, supported by old timber ribs. Small, amber lights rest in shallow alcoves along the walls. The floor slopes gently beneath a thick runner, carrying you deeper into the quiet heart of the lodge. The snow lights float just ahead. Their pale glow brushes the walls like winter moonlight. The passage opens into a small chamber filled with quiet ticking. Several old clocks rest on shelves and tables, though none have readable faces. Their hands move too slowly to follow, and their sounds overlap until they become something softer than time. A gentle rhythm, a distant pulse. The snow lights drift between them without hurry. Here, nothing needs to be measured. At the center of the room stands one tall clock with no hands at all. Its face is pale and empty, reflecting the snow lights as they pass. Beneath it, a small door in the wooden case stands open, revealing only darkness and the faint scent of cedar. The ticking around you grows quieter, then slower, then almost disappears. Beyond the clockroom lies a low hall lined with folded blankets. They rest in deep shelves from floor to ceiling, arranged by color rather than name. Cream, blue-gray, moss-green, soft brown, and the faint silver of snow beneath moonlight. The air smells of wool and cedar. The snow lights pass over the shelves. Every blanket seems to hold a little warmth of its own. One blanket rests alone on a small bench. It is thick and pale, woven with simple flowing lines that resemble wind over snow. As the snow lights gather above it, the fibers catch their glow and shimmer faintly. You lift it. It feels warm already, as though it has been resting beside a fire. The blanket folded over your arm, you continue onward. A broad staircase descends from the far end of the hall. Unlike the others, it is covered entirely in soft carpet, and every step seems to absorb sound. The snow lights float downward in a slow line. No fire crackles here. No wind reaches the walls. Only stillness remains. At the bottom, you enter a long, low hall. Its ceiling arches gently overhead, and the walls are lined with pale stone warmed by hidden light. There are no windows here, yet the air still feels open and calm. The floor beneath you is soft enough that your steps vanish completely. At the far end waits a single door. The snow lights gather before it. The final door is darker than the others, smooth and simple beneath your hand. There is no handle. When you step closer, it opens inward on silent hinges. A breath of warm air passes through the doorway. Beyond it lies a room, unlike any you have seen in the lodge. A room made only for rest. The room beyond is wide, low, and softly lit. A large bed rests in the center beneath a canopy of pale fabric. The curtains hang loose and still, gathered like clouds around the frame. Thick rugs cover the floor, and a small stone hearth glows along the far wall. There are no shelves, no clocks, nothing that asks for your attention. You move toward the hearth. Its stones are pale, almost white, warmed by a slow golden fire. The flames are low and steady, giving more glow than sound. Beside the hearth sits a small basket of smooth stones, each one holding a little heat. The snow lights hover above them, blue light over warm stone. Winter, resting beside fire. You turn toward the bed. The pale canopy moves only slightly, though the room is still. Beneath it, the blankets lie in soft layers of cream, silver blue, and winter gray. The pillows are deep and full, arranged beneath the curved headboard. The blanket you carried seems to belong here. You place it gently at the foot of the bed. Only one window rests in the room. It is low and wide, set close to the floor. Outside, the snow has gathered so deeply that it rises halfway up the glass. Beyond it, only the lower branches of the forest can be seen, dark and still beneath the drifts. You are no longer above the village. You are hidden beneath the snow, safe inside the mountain. The snow lights begin to descend. They settle along the edge of the bed, the hearth, and the low window. Their glow dims from blue-white to the palest silver, as though each small light is growing sleepy too. None of them move toward another door. There are no more rooms to discover. The journey has brought you here. You draw the warm blanket over the bed. It settles with a soft weight, covering the layers beneath. The fire glows through the pale canopy, turning the fabric gold at the edges. Outside, snow presses gently against the low window. The room becomes quieter still, warm enough, dark enough, soft enough to let go. The hearth lowers to a quiet glow. One by one, the lanterns dim until only the fire and the snow lights remain. The pale canopy becomes a soft shadow around the bed. Beyond it, the room slowly disappears into warmth and darkness. The final snow light hovers above the blanket. For a moment, it shines alone. Then it settles. Outside, snow continues to fall over the hidden village, over the forest, over the mountain, and over the Snowfall Lodge, at the edge of dreams. But here, beneath the mountain and beneath the snow, everything is still. The blanket is warm, the fire is low, the snow lights are quiet. And as the final glow fades into darkness, the lodge keeps watch while you drift gently into sleep.